What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video, and welcome to 2022. All right, guys, so today we are starting a brand new series. Over the last number of months, I have been getting a ton of questions on what I use, why I use it, the thought process in behind going with the products I have. So I wanted to break that down for you guys, as I'm sure some of you guys are, maybe you guys are wanting to get into ice fishing or wanting to, maybe you're buying your first flasher or bow or camping gear, whatever it is. I wanted to go through it and break down my thought process and what I like and what I don't like about it, what I would change about how I've done things, and kind of that sort of thing. So today we are starting with my ice flasher or sonar or my ice fishing electronics. So before we get into the video, I just want to say that I am not sponsored by any of these companies or any of these products. I'll tell you what I like and what I don't like about them. I'll try not to sound too sales pitchy, salesman-y. But that being said, I'm obviously not sponsored, and so you're getting a pretty unbiased review. So without further ado, let's get into this schneze unit, this rig here. This is my ice fishing kit. I've seen a hundred of these on Facebook Marketplace and Kijiji and wherever else you buy things, really. But I decided to build my own because I thought it'd be kind of cool. So I went with the Cabela's hard case. I went with this choice because I didn't really like the Plano, the single action opening, kind of the ammo crate style. I didn't really like those. So I decided to go with something like this. So before we get into kind of what I do not like about this box or what I do like about this box, let's kind of go through what I'm working with here. I am running the Garmin Striker 4. This is the summer kit. It comes with the boat transducer and the boat mount. So for any of you guys that maybe have one of these kicking around or are looking at buying it, you will need, I shouldn't say that. You don't necessarily need the ice fishing transducer. You can use the summer transducer, but you do have to build kind of a rig out of PVC pipe or something similar to keep that summer transducer just below the ice and keep it still, as the current will want to rock it, and it just will not work that well. I decided to go with the winter transducer. This is just the dual beam, nothing crazy about it. It is 45 degree and 15 degree angle, 77 and 200 kilohertz, and 500 watt power outlet. It does come with the transducer, the grommet, and the foam float, for anyone that is wondering. So this, let's open this up. This is the Garmin Striker 4 head unit. Now this is slightly smaller than the Striker 4 Plus, which I believe is 4 inches. This one is 3.5. And then there's the Garmin Striker 4 Plus CV something or another, which I think is even a little better yet. But this unit goes for, I believe I got this unit for about 120 bucks a couple of years ago. And it's basically been sitting in my closet since. So I figured, why not use it in this scenario? So this is the head unit. This is the mount. Now let me show you guys. This clips into the back just like so, and then this slides in. So you are able to completely swivel this thing, 180 degrees, backwards, forwards, kind of whatever you want to do. Which I really like this mounting platform. I really like I really like what Garmin has done with that. Now, of course, this is the power cord. You see a lot of loose wires hanging there, and I'll kind of explain this coming up. And this is the winter transducer. So it comes with the foam float and this little rubber grommet to keep your cable where you need it. Now, this thing, the reason I went with the Garmin Striker 4 originally because I don't think there is a better unit for the price point that you can buy. For $120, you get a head unit that has the capability of doing chirp. It gives a really, especially with the ice fishing transducer. Now, bear in mind, I have not used the summer transducer yet, but it gives a really clear picture of the bottom of fish that you're marking. I'll throw a couple pictures in here. But for 120, 150 bucks, depending, what your price range is, you get a unit that gives you really great picture. It's super lightweight for anyone that wants to get into, maybe backpacking into lakes for winter, or kayaking into lakes, or canoeing. It gives you a really inexpensive option to know where fish are, which I like. The downside of it is it does not have charting capabilities, so you're not able to throw a chip in something like Angler's Edge or what's the other big one? Slipping my mind now. Anyway, you don't have the option to put a chip into it. However, if you what I do is I have the Navionics app, and that allows me to kind of chart as I go, and then I can look for fish with my flasher. So there definitely is options if this is the route you want to go. One downside to running this system as opposed to the Garmin Striker 4 Plus, the ice fishing bundle, is the ice fishing bundle comes with the winter transducer and a lead acid battery and a nice carrying kit to keep it off the ice. Where the transducer you kind of just wrap in the back and everything's kind of one sealed unit. It's a little quicker to get up and get out if you're drilling that first hole in the morning and dropping your transducer down, seeing how much ice or how much water you have, or if you're on that hump or whatever. That system is a little bit faster. However, I like the durability of this, knowing I can throw this whole thing in the back of my truck and it can rattle around, or back of a sleigh and it can rattle around, and I know everything's going to be safe. Another downside to it is I've already had to do a fix on this power cable. As you can see, I got one power cable that is way bigger. I ended up breaking the inline fuse off, and so I just replaced it with 10 gauge wire, because as you can see, these little thin wires are just, I don't think they're great. I think it's a poor system for it. That being said, it is a cheap unit. But I don't know if anybody buying one would be mad about spending an extra $10 if they could put, thicker, better wire on there. But that's just me. So what I did is I just put a couple of these quick connectors on and left the inline fuse out, which maybe that bites me in the ass yet, I'm not sure. And then I just heat shrinked this together so they can't move. Hopefully it's a little more durable. The other thing is it does come with the brown and blue wires, which are your communication wires for the Echo Map system that Garmin has. I don't have it, so what I've done in the past is just tape these, folded them. Garmin suggests that you clip them. I figured maybe I'll use it one day, I don't know. And I figured I'd just point them back and electrical tape them up. But that is one downside to this unit. One positive I did forget to mention is on the box you can see it does save waypoints, which is huge. I believe it is the only unit in this price range that does that. I don't think the Lowrance or the Humminbird does that, which is absolutely phenomenal. So let's push this aside for a little bit and talk about the box. So I picked up this box for, I believe it was $25 at Cabela's. What I like about it, it's got a good handle, good carrying handle, good clips, really good clips. It locks tight. It's super lightweight, and like I said, I know that this thing can rattle around a sleigh or rattle around a truck box. You know, if someone were to get careless. One thing I will say, as you can see, this is all pretty scarred and scuffed. I did use my Milwaukee oscillating tool. This is the M18. I did use it to cut this because I didn't really know how strong this plastic was. Now looking at it, I probably could have used a knife. But I really wanted a solid base to mount this flasher onto. Another thing I don't like about it is the foam that it comes with. So the top foam is pretty good, but as you can see, it's got all this pre-cubed or pre-cut foam in it. When I built this 2 weeks ago, I had cut a slot for the battery and for everything, and it had its own spot. And in one trip of taking it out, pulling things out, these got cold, and the glue or whatever holds them pulled apart and ended up just not working very well. So I will be changing that out. That is one thing I don't like about it. Another thing I do like about it though is it's got a separate foam pad in the bottom, which is just an added not safety feature, but it's an added piece for peace of mind when you're bringing your flasher out on the ice. You don't always have the option to have this thing elevated or off the ice, especially if you're just going out for the day. So that little bit helps just keep some warmth in and keep everything, at least a little bit off the ice and a little bit warmer, which is going to give you way better lifetime throughout the life of your product. So for $25 and a little bit of cutting, obviously I could do this a lot cleaner, and the next one I probably will, but that I think you're goofy to go wrong. Other thing, cut a hole inside for the power cable to come from the battery out into the back of the head unit, which I will show you guys how I set this whole thing up yet once we are finished going through everything. So that is the box. And last but not least, we are running the Dakota Lithium 12 volt 10 amp hour Life PO4 battery. Like I said, I am not a sponsored person when it comes to products, and I will be the first person to say that I don't like something. And I will be honest, the first review I had of this thing, or the first experience I had with this thing, it left me stranded on the ice. I had picked one up from Cabela's and brought it home, charged it, plugged everything in, it all worked. So I unplugged everything, packed it away in the box, and headed out to the lake. And when I got there, it was completely dead. It would not turn on a Humminbird. It wouldn't turn on 2 different Garmins. It just wouldn't turn anything. And then when I plugged it in, again, it said the battery was full. So I don't know if that's a bad battery. Again, that's not a knock at Dakota. I've heard very good things, between guys like Jay Siemens and Clayton Schick, Uncut Angling. Everyone loves them, and I hope that it was just a bad battery. Hopefully this one doesn't give me any problems. But that's so far my experience with Dakota Lithium, so I'm a little hesitant with it. I will say on this battery, in a warm house condition, I did have it run for 3.5 days on my Garmin straight with it on, and during the daytime having the settings on high, and then at night bring them down to low to kind of replicate what you would do if you were overnighting and it lasted 3.5 days, which is phenomenal out of a little lightweight battery. So I am really happy with that. And then of course you have the Dakota Lithium Life P04 or LFP 12 volt charger. I would suggest picking one up if you're gonna buy Dakota Lithium. I would suggest buying the Dakota Lithium charger. I would also suggest, if you're not gonna buy Dakota Lithium, buy a compatible charger. Often, if you can buy one of the same brand, just I think it'll prolong the life of your product, and especially when it is a bit of an investment into these types of things. So that is my ice fishing box, kind of in a nutshell. I know this isn't a crazy video. I will set it up, show you guys how I do that real quick, and how I kind of have it packed away. As you see, I had some tools out here. We did fix that wire, which, you know, maybe it's just abuse. I don't know. I am a little hard on my things, but I still think that's one of those things that should last a little longer. So let's get this thing put back together, and I'll show you guys it all fired up. Zoom you out here a little bit. So this is what we're looking at here. Obviously, Transducer is not in water, but this is, oops, sorry. I can go into my trad. This is your traditional, sorry, I don't know, here, maybe I can turn this down. Yeah, it's still gonna flicker. Anyway, this is your traditional, and you have your flasher, which will give you your device voltage up there. Split frequency, same thing. So in your split frequency, you have your 200 kilohertz and your 700, and then you have a bunch of settings through here, which you can go, where is the, I thought there was a setting for the A scope, but I can't find it right now. It's there somewhere, but then you have your, yeah, your waypoint and traditional. So it is a very minimalist unit, but at the end of the day, it's something that works extremely well when everything is, you know, hooked up properly, obviously. And yeah, so that is the box setup so far. As you can see, one thing that you'll notice is it gets a little top heavy with the flasher up there, so it wants to lean backwards. And I'll show you guys what it's like tearing it all down at the end of the day. So yeah, guys, that's kind of all I got on my flasher box. Obviously, you guys saw there is some pros and cons to this setup. I'm not totally married to it. I do like it for right now. Obviously, there's bigger and better things to come eventually, but for right now, I enjoy that setup. There's a couple upgrades that I'll be making, but we will get there one day. As for the video, guys, thanks for tuning in. If you guys want to see more content like this, make sure you smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't, share this wherever you can. And thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one. Peace.